already live right now.
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, you want to start the show?
Let's just... We're starting the show.
I'll tell you when we're
Okay, we're starting the show. We're live? Okay. Am I looking at camera 1 right now? Is that how it is? I think this is how it is. Hello, everybody. My name is Terry Trainer. I'm the host of the Early Late Night Live Show. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8, but tonight is Friday night the 8th, and I'm very excited because we are a little bit unorganized right now, but we're launching our new Amazon web series called The American Traveler, which we're going to be talking a little bit about. Hopefully, so we're a little bit shorthanded. We're used to having a bigger crew on Wednesday nights, and everything kind of got thrown together at the last minute, but it's fine. We're figuring this out. Dan DeVideo is in the house right now. Dan Graham, let's make some space for Dan DeVideo.
I mean, he can sit here.
He can sit right there. Yeah, we got to crawl over you. Hopefully,
hopefully my mic.
He's on camera more.
Did you turn it on?
I
don't know. Let's just, yeah, you're on. You're on. So
live.
We are live
on Memorex.
Yes. So we're very excited right now because this is our first time ever doing like a live launch of anything that we've filmed. And to be truth be told, we didn't talk a heck of a lot about this, and we didn't think a heck of a lot about this. We just said, hey, why not Friday night we do the launch of The American Traveler, which took us a while to get on Amazon Prime because you're on Amazon Prime a lot now. Yeah, you're in Tex McGrew.
Oh, I'm on, I'm pretty much in everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Tex
Except
McGrew.
for the 2 bullets or 2 guys.
The last two, yes. So we're going to be dropping the links to our other films that are on Amazon Prime right now while we're discussing this. In a little bit, we're going to actually be launching the film. This is the first time we're going to be doing a live premiere. So you guys, for one time only, if you don't have Amazon Prime, for one time only, you're going to be able to see this on Narrow Street Films Facebook page and on Early Late Night Live Show's YouTube page. But then after that, it's being taken down, and you'll only be able to see it on Amazon Prime. And hopefully we'll do this again with another film. Hopefully we'll be a bit better organized. So, and our director may be walking into the, okay. Come on in. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about this. So, Dan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have Dan and Dan on the couch right now.
We're going to mess with them all night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to be really, like, pointed.
I know, I think pointed at, like, this Dan or that.
We're going to start a new episode, Couch Travelers.
So I want to make sure I keep up with people who are actually in the Facebook Live room, and I apologize because my my computer's been screwing up lately, so it keeps freezing up. I don't actually know if someone if people are watching because the thing is screwing up, so I'm probably going to be going to my phone. So when we go to my phone right now, I'm actually looking at the comments. I'm not actually distracting myself and saying, yeah, this is so unimportant right now that I'm, going to be looking at my phone. But
in fact, it's actually so important that he's looking at it on 2 screens at once.
It is so very important that I am doing that right now. But yeah, we've got Not That Guy, Tex McGrew, Michael Lawrence, and the last 2 on Amazon Prime, and now The American Traveler. So let's go back a year or 2, Dan. Me and you sitting in the Narrow Street Films office and then talking about this idea of us doing a rolling documentary, which was a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what was the original idea?
The original idea was for you to buy a Ford Taurus out in LA and for us to go get it and come back and stop at a bunch of places where movie scenes, like famous movie scenes, had been filmed. Right,
exactly. And what the problem was, there was a bunch of problems. First of all, this was our idea. That may have been
that was probably the nail in the coffin before anything else.
Probably the biggest problem was the fact that this was actually my idea, and I probably shouldn't have done it. Hello to Donna Scusian's in the Facebook Live room. Hello, Donna. Hopefully, yeah. Okay. So one of the biggest problems was finding an actual Ford Taurus of the vintage that we wanted, which was because my first car was a Ford Taurus, and it was in a lot of my previous. I want to make sure the videos are deleted. Then after that, exclusively on Amazon Prime. But yeah, the problem was we couldn't find a car, and then I think we found one in Indiana or something like that. That was like out of a junkyard.
Something like that, yeah.
And that made it so that was the difficulty. So then it was like, okay, we need a vehicle. Originally it was going to be like one crew vehicle and then one character vehicle, and that was it. Then all of a sudden we realized we need like 3 crew vehicles, and then the character vehicles. We needed a camera vehicle. We needed a crew vehicle.
Right. So it would have been like 3 at minimum anyway.
Right, yeah. No, we needed a camera vehicle, logistics vehicle, and an actual truck capable to carry all the tools that we needed in case the car actually broke down between now and then. And
dang, did anybody think of a mechanic?
We're basically carrying a mechanic at that point.
Right, and that was, and so that was what was going on. And we calculated it was going to be what? $3,000 for gas alone for the Suburban?
Something like that, yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah, for that kind of trip. Yeah.
And so inevitably the idea got shelved for a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay.
It was unrealistic.
We're unrealistic. We're not going to be able to do this right now. And then we came up with this idea. And we said, okay, well, why don't we just try something smaller?
Yeah, let's scale it down.
Let's scale it down to maybe staying within New England and not needing what would have been like about 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, it was actually like 2 weeks.
Right.
That we would need.
To do it in a way that wouldn't have been like, I'm trying to get it up on my phone right now because my computer says screwing up. It would have needed to be some way actually reasonable just to practice because we've never done this before.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we've traveled 2 places to film, but we've never traveled in film before. How it is. So how did you? Because I called you up about the earlier idea, right?
Yeah, because I think we were going to actually do it right around the February vacation.
Yes.
And that when I was trying to get Chris off, off of school,
right?
So we can shoot that down, but it just fell apart.
Right, and it was just too much. It was just too much to try and do. Okay, now let's see if I got this up here. All right, cool. I think it's. Let me see. Am I working now? I don't know. Hopefully, it's working on my phone. Is this like all my technology is just not working right now? I think that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, it looks like it's working. But
I think it's working on there. But anyways, we're trying to keep up with you. We're trying to keep up with our audience right now. So yeah, that's what we got going on. So then we said, all right, let's go from the hardest part was trying to find an actual goal and destination and where to do this. But to me, also doing this film is about trying to do something I've always liked to do, which is road trip and traveling. You're quite a well-traveled man yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I go to Mass once in a while.
No, but you've been
dear.
Go to Massachusetts once. Yeah. No, but you've been overseas too.
Yeah, I've been in Japan. For martial arts and stuff. Yep. But it's about as I don't know. I think that's the furthest I've ever went.
Right.
I've gone to Bahamas, Costa Rica.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to go to to England and Ireland and stuff like that, but who knows?
Right.
But I like to travel. I mean, it's cool.
Right.
People make fun of me. Hey, you're from New York. Hey, you're from Boston.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's very pronounced. Because people can really pick you out. They know you're from the Northeast.
I hate to say this, but you also have a wicked New England accent though too.
Well, I grew up in Somerville. I mean,
I'm not surprised by this, but
But hey, I tell you, I did live in Florida for a little bit when I was in the military, and when I come home, I'd be, people would make fun of me, God damn, I'm going to eat that, and that I lost that real quick, and I got my old accent back.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But how far have you traveled?
I was just going to swear, but I didn't.
Not that far, honestly. I think, aside from one family trip when I was 7, I think this was the biggest trip that I've ever done.
Well, you went to Texas though too.
Fair point.
Yeah, a little further.
Yeah. Okay.
No, okay.
You really shot me down right there.
No, I thought you were going to bring it up. You've been to Texas.
Me and my girlfriend went to Texas.
A year and a half ago.
I was going to say 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. So what I wanted to do was I said, let's make a series kind of showing what it's like to be a broke traveler. And so, because I was in Europe finally for the first time. I've never been to Europe. And this past spring.
Oh, with Arnie, Switzerland?
Yeah, no. Arnie's traveled all over the place.
No, I know, but you went with her to...
I went to Sweden.
Sweden, right. I knew it was an S. I couldn't
remember. And so... Okay, so I was, yeah, I've been to Sweden, Canada, Texas, California, drove to Texas. So I've been to Chicago.
I thought you were talking about outside the country.
Right,
I've
no,
been to
but-
a bunch of places
right,
U.S. continental, yeah,
Right, yeah.
and
But
Canada.
Even how to and how to find how to take some trip and make it actually fun, and make it actually entertaining, make it actually enjoyable, and try to go on some adventure. But how to do that actually on a budget, and that's what I wanted the heart of this. That's what I want the heart of this series to be. And I actually went back and I found all these stupid trips that I had taken with my friends in my various vehicles that I've owned, and try to actually make it work. And that's what I want the series to be about. And hopefully we've done that. So anyways, but I'm just going to cut really quick. We have a short video from the co-host of this show, this American Traveler, who couldn't make it at the last minute, TJ. TJ has sent us a small video to talk about the reason, just to give his congratulations to what's going on. So do we still have that video? I just want to ask really quick to the people out in the back room. I don't know if we're still live right now. I'm assuming we still are. And when we get a chance, just let me know. We'll launch the video, and then pretty soon we'll actually launch our film, which we're pretty excited about. So we go from Concord, New Hampshire to Lubec, Maine. Right off the top of your head, without giving away something about the film, Dan, what would you say is your most memorable experience about making this movie?
Leaning over the back seat with the back of the truck wide open.
Okay.
And I probably made my mom mad at you by saying that.
Probably. All right. Well, anyways, we'll get back to Dan and the other Dan in a minute. All right. So yeah, let's play the video from TJ, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm TJ McAndrew. I'm the co-host of The American Traveler. Unfortunately, I can't be there tonight due to some unforeseen circumstances. Let's just say that there's some competition in the indie film field, especially in the documentaries. So I am in hiding right now, and I need to keep an... Oh God, they found me. Well, they got me. So, as I rot here in this dungeon of doom and despair, I hope you enjoy our fun-filled film full of frantics, frolics, and fruity drinks. Please enjoy the show, and thank you for coming. We appreciate it immensely, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Clearly, you can understand why.
And you're back. It's not the early late night live show. No, this is a special event, the official launch of our Amazon series, The American Traveler, which is available on Amazon Prime, and for one time only is going to be shown on our Narrow Street Films Facebook page and on the early late night live show YouTube page. Be shown tonight, be taken down at that point. Then at that point, it's only going to be exclusively available on the Amazon Prime page. But really quick, Dan, the video. This was a fun trip. You enjoyed this trip, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have been a little different, where you could have actually got some film stuff of the actual crew driving with you.
Yes.
Which you didn't get.
Which we
and
didn't
we
get.
had a lot of fun, didn't we, Dan?
We did, yeah.
On the way up, because you drove home with him on the way back.
Yeah.
So on the way up, I mean, we had a lot of fun. We were singing and making
yeah.
jokes, and your mom was great. She was a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys we're supposed to kind of ignore the crew vehicle for like a rolling documentary.
Right.
But somehow or other, you guys sort of weaseled your way into like, because the amount of times you're on the walkie-talkie, you're driving the truck though.
Right. I was driving the truck. I
And
was
every
driving
time
the crew
we were
truck.
trying to do a bit, all of a sudden we just hear, Terry, we got to turn like to here, and then are
Yeah.
you making a joke? Are you singing rolling?
Yeah.
And like, remember one time we actually went 3 rounds trying to get this little bit. Me and TJ were trying to say this bit, and it kept getting interrupted by you saying, "Yeah, we're turning here. Yeah, we're turning here. Yeah, we're turning here." So yeah, we're hopefully going to be doing more of these.
Yeah, we're gonna stop and get coffee.
Yeah. So yes, all right, folks. So coming up, and we're about to screen our first episode of our Amazon Prime series, The American Traveler, which is hosted by me and my friend TJ McAndrew, and you'll also see these two guys. You'll hear his voice quite a bit over a walkie-talkie.
See me a little bit right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning, yeah. And so, all right, folks. Well, then I think we're about ready. We're going to launch this for one time only on Narrow Street Films Facebook page and on the Early Late Night Live Show YouTube channel. So, folks, we hope you enjoy the first episode of The American Traveler. And we'll see you guys afterwards. If you have any comments or questions, just leave them in the Facebook Live room. We'll answer them at the end of the show. All right, folks, enjoy the show. we're just going to sit back and talk until the director tells me.
Right now, I don't really like you that much either.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Look, boss, if I'm gonna cause a problem, maybe I should just leave. Ah! Never stick up to me like that again.
I haven't even moved.
Yeah, we'll keep it that way.
Just how special are you?
How special are you?
Careful, Dad. That guy killed 5 cops with his bare hands.
Barehanded, huh?
That's right. Lost my gloves. Made things messy. I don't like messy.
He took a bullet, too.
You did?
I did? That's right. Just a flesh wound.
I thought it was your arm.
That's what the police report said.
What police report?
That's right, Dirty Man.
Who is this guy?
Now, easy, Dan. Let's treat our guest with some respect.
You might want to put me down, pretty boy. Else I might have to make a mess out of your face. You know, I don't like messes.
Wait, you're Nathan Hale.
What, is there a flyer or something going around?
Just calm down, all right?
Calm down? Why should I calm down? People are trying to kill me.
Calm down. I'm a detective. You're a detective. You're going to be all right, okay?
Headquarters to all available units. We are receiving multiple reports of possible fire in the area of 15 Blackwater Road. Detective Harris and Marshall have advised that they are in the area and were...
Hey, did you see what you...
Okay, look, if we just talk about this half a minute, I just want to know a little idea what's going on. Just a little smidget.
No,
I don't really...
no.
Get up with the hang!
Grab the gun.
Sir.
Get in or walk.
Lawrence, you look like something the cat dragged in. What do we got? Dead woman?
Detective Lawrence, this is Sam Harris. This is Peter Chase. The detective has a few questions for you guys.
Have you caught my wife's killer yet?
So who's in the front running for possible suspect? Her husband?
Still don't see a motive.
Who would want to hurt Emma? It would be like killing Mother Teresa.
And you already know that we're treating her death as suspicious.
Well, that's the trouble with this whole thing. Everyone loved Emma Gagnon. Nobody wanted to see her dead.
I do know that Emma had been getting a lot of strange phone calls lately, and...
I need to talk to you.
There's been another murder at the concert.
God, I just can't believe it came to this.
You cannot keep running away from this.
Detective, you don't think I'm planning on skipping town, do you?
I am afraid I lost my faith in the justice system a long time ago, Detective.
Do I have to take you off this case, Michael?
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Steve.
You still got that late night show on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I do. On the Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page.
The one with the guests?
Yeah, that show.
Sure I can't be a guest?
You a photographer?
Yes, I am.
We don't have photographers on the show.
But what if I... I go on vacation with Terry. Remember, make him the driver.
We're right now out in the middle of the woods. New Haven, Connecticut. My name is Terry Trainer. I'm a filmmaker, vehicle enthusiast, and wannabe adventurer. Every year for the past decade or so, I make it my duty to drag my friends on some sort of pointless adventure, taking us places we've never been before to do things we've never done before. We'll drink coffee, eat, laugh, cry, and experience. We're broke working class adventurers, and now we're taking you along for the ride.
Hey, Terry. Just want to let you know this is all his idea.
This is the sleep-deprived prequel.
Prequel, yeah.
I don't know, or
Well, no, then we'd have to make it afterwards, right? Or release. Like to make a prequel, we'd have to film
the first part, yeah.
Or wait.
It's not a prequel that we just start.
Wait a second. If we filmed this and then we released the original part first, but then released what we filmed first afterwards, would it be considered a prequel? Or do you have to film it after?
Are you recording this right now?
Yeah. You have to film it afterwards.
What the hell you said? I want to play that back.
I can translate. I know how to speak Spanish.
Well, the basic idea was going to go from the State House to Lubec, Maine on one tank of gas.
Right.
Right, yeah, but not the Suburban.
So now, if we, well, of course not.
Because we were trying to think of something to do.
We're going to go to Texas, buy a car, and drive back.
Right, yeah. When we tried planning it, it would have been like $3,000 in gas alone to get the truck across the country. We said we were going to do this weekend one. It all started with the fact that this is the first car I've ever had that had like a mileage reader on it that would tell you how many miles.
That actually works.
And so we said, okay, why don't we see what the max is and then try to plan a trip that's just like there. So we said Lubec, Maine. And we said, okay, well, it's too quick on the highway. The car would easily make it. But on the back roads, it would make it.
Are we taking all back roads?
All back roads. Yeah.
Wait, the more interesting the place we find, just be like, and pull over.
Right. That and trying to find a place to stay, though, up there was not very easy.
No. That was not.
Because it's pretty touristy driven area, even all year long.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to pay me.
Yeah. I gotta check. It's I left it at the apartment.
You gotta get yourself a main refrigerator magnet too.
That is true.
Refrigerator magnet.
I'll take a shot glass next.
Well, you need something to kind of make it homey here, you know.
I've never had a fridge with magnets.
You never had a fridge.
Touche. There's like no food in it. There's like a pound of bacon.
Like this is like the most manly fridge I've ever seen. You get like 3 sausages.
Not even wrapped.
Look at those carrots right there. Nice, still sealed.
Yeah, those, I don't know if those are good anymore. But typical bachelor pad. You got your condiments. You got block of cheese for.
What's this? This looks really good.
That is something. Don't look at that. I don't want to get sued. It should be a chicken.
Pork chops. Pork chops.
Well, yeah, you remember we were down in Connecticut. We took a steamed burger.
What's a steamed burger? How do they make it?
So what they do is, to contain it, they typically put it like in a tinfoil like little bowl almost.
Right.
And then they put it in
like you would
steamer.
vegetables, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they just steam it.
Right.
But it's not dry. It's juicy as hell, and it's healthy for you because there's no bad grease in it.
Right, because it all gets sucked out.
Exactly. And it's
into the water.
delicious.
Very tasty.
It's freaking delicious.
Yeah. There's someplace in
You're not.
It's like I got to Google animals with cameras.
That's really weird.
Our journey begins here at one of the most iconic New Hampshire locations most people have never been to, the State Building. If you look behind me, it looks pretty damn cool because it's golden and rustic and whatnot. And we figured iconic location, iconic beginning, iconicness out the wazoo.
Iconic.
I like that.
We need an iconic New Hampshire location with the old man of the mountain no longer with us. The Capitol building will have to do.
Yeah.
So we're about to embark on a journey, a road trip that me and him wanted to do for years. And a good journey needs a good vehicle to get you there, and we have chosen...
It's a Mini Cooper.
I'm serious, that's where we're going in.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It is a 2014 6-speed manual transmission Mini Cooper with heated seats. It's quite cold out today.
What are you trying to sell me it? Slow down.
I'm not trying to sell you, but this is going to be quite comfortable for a 7-hour journey.
Heated seats, huh? 7-hour journey. That will become a 7-hour journey.
7-hour journey. 7 hours to the end of the world. We'll be driving from Concord, New Hampshire to Lubec, Maine, which is the easternmost part of the United States. So essentially, as far as any American is concerned, it's the end of the world. Yay!
Every good road trip needs a challenge.
And we have come up with a clever one. We have filled the Mini Cooper up to full tank of gas. Well, mostly full tank. It took us a little bit to get over here.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and inside this little mileage reader that will tell you how many miles you got left on this particular tank of gas.
Now, this little mileage majiggy is kind of accurate, but assuming you don't drive recklessly like me, you didn't hear that, we'll get fairly good gas mileage, and we should make it. Right?
Well, we're driving from Concord, New Hampshire to Lubec, Maine. Using only back roads, it's about 330 miles. So we got about 10 gallons of gas in this car right now, which this car on back roads averages 32 miles to the gallon. So in theory, we could put, we have like 11 gallons or something like that. In theory, we should be able to make it. We did way too much research on this. I will say this. Yes.
We researched the crap out of this.
It was long, but the real challenge is to see if we can get there on one tank of gas.
Okay, so, but wait. Let me just get this straight. We have heated seats.
Heated seats. It's cold out.
One tank of gas.
Yeah.
And we only have
driving radically.
We only have 10 gallons.
Yeah, 10, 11 gallons, something like that.
So we're
32 miles to the gallon.
I think we can make it to the end of the road.
I think we may just barely make it.
What if we don't? What if we get stranded in the middle of nowhere?
What if we get stranded in the middle of nowhere? We'll just die out in the wilderness. Or we'll just go into the crew truck where it's warm.
Yeah, they got donuts.
Yeah, they do have donuts.
I'm excited about that.
All right. So,
you know what they say?
What?
In every film industry, everywhere.
What?
Break your leg. Let's roll.
Back up here. I can't really see out the back because of this. All right. And yep, that guy's gonna crash into me. Sounds good. Yeah.
Bye, Chief.
Howdy, dude. Yeah, I'm going this way. Good to see you.
Bye, bald man. Bye, bald man.
We almost crashed. Take it right off. Right going. All right. And so our journey began. We'd be going through Concord, up through northern New Hampshire, and eventually through Maine and onward towards the end of the world. But shortly in, we made a surprising discovery. According to our mileage reader, we have an 11 gallons of gas. Apparently we have 574 miles that we can make on this right now, which is, to be perfectly honest, way more than we actually need.
You know what that means? We drive very sporadically and very fun.
Yeah, and we will be stopping for coffee. This is the technical stuff that people don't see, by the way.
Being interrupted by
walkie-talkies and
random things. And looking in the camera and saying, good Lord, my hairline is very high.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
It's a red Ford.
It is a red Ford.
Yeah, by the way,
I hate Fords.
I do too. Ford sucks.
You own a Ford now, don't you?
Oh, crap, you're right.
So what you just didn't see was this. So the camera crew just asked us, hey, do you want to stop at McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts for a cup of coffee? And so we said, oh, whatever, you just pick. Now, as we are passing the McDonald's, and we're on a double-lane road, the cameraman just decided, I'm going to turn into McDonald's right now, even though we just passed it. You know?
He's like, we're going to go to here. We're going here.
Oh, this is where we're going.
Right by.
We're coming to McDonald's now.
We have a great crew.
So one of the most important parts of the journey is the first food stop, right? For a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
I'm not regretting this at all.
No.
This coffee's horrible.
We started this epic journey, and 40 minutes in, we haven't even left Concord yet.
Technicalities.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, got 2 hash browns. Cool.
Really cool.
Product placement.
This is part of the whole road trip experience, though, getting the junk food on the way.
That's a necessity.
Well, it's absolutely a necessity.
Eat horrible for like 2 days and then regret every decision except
you
the trip.
don't ever sleep good. Like, you never sleep good on a road trip.
Dude, I got like 2.5 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Friggin' someone in the other room cracked a fart and went, woke me up.
Our cameraman.
I laughed so hard. It was hilarious.
One of our cameramen actually just got coffee for the first time, which, you would think, like someone holding this camera, got coffee for the first time. He never drinks coffee.
Is that for real? I'm so sorry that your experience is this bad.
Yeah.
I'll make you a good cup of coffee at one point.
Oh, everybody. But thank you to the brand company that we can't mention. Go help him with markers. Give us a line. All right, we gotta hit the road. And we're back on the road again.
So, we started with a semi-full tank of gas, right?
Yes.
We're like already down 2 things.
Oh, right, down 2 things. Well, we still got 575 miles.
As I said in the beginning of the intro, the mileage Majiggy is somewhat accurate.
Somewhat accurate. You've never taken a really long trip in this car with me before.
There are reasons. It's a Mini Cooper.
It is a Mini Cooper.
And it's not red.
It's not red.
I'm really disappointed about that.
Well, you're really hoping because...
Well, I was kind of aiming, and I was really hoping for like one of those iconic, like almost super midgety. I know I was complaining about the size.
Yeah. Now, this is something interesting just happened, and this is the type of thing that we're going to talk about that makes it a little bit weird. Now, it says 585 miles. It's gone up 10 miles since we've started driving.
Really?
Yes. Because when we left Mickey D's, it was 575 miles. But I mean, that's the type of thing we were talking about. It's gone up again. This car is gaining miles as it drives.
That's why I said Majiggy. And sort of accurate.
Sort of accurate. We look cool, don't we? Don't we look cool?
I think we look badass.
I think we are freaking badass.
Beep out words.
2 badass guys and a Mini Cooper.
Yeah, gone. All credibility.
All gone. We just lost it.
Out the window, man.
Us explorers continued our journey onward and upward, and suddenly we realized we were complete morons. So, we've reached a new level of stupidity. I thought 500-something miles seemed like a particularly large amount of mileage to be able to drive on this tank. It just wasn't making any sense. But that was because I actually had the trip monitor up, not the actual mileage left in the gas tank. All right.
Smart.
As you can see, we have 384 miles left on this one tank. So stupid. I can't believe I was thinking that the car could make 500 miles.
We already did the math. We even just talked about that.
We just talked
a half hour ago.
I know.
We've done the math numerous times. I know math.
Yeah. I think you do that sometimes when you're talking to the radio. There's a lot of air coming into it.
Stop kissing the microphone.
All right.
Stop making love.
Don't be breathing heavy in a vehicle with my mom. All right.
Yeah, because she has snacks. I would be too.
But okay. But I mean, with that, you know, it is funny though. As soon as you cross the border into Maine, you just know you're in Maine. Besides the fact there's a big sign that says "Welcome to Maine."
What other traits let you know you've just crossed the Maine border?
It just seems.
I'm trying to set up a joke, Dan. Give me a second. So what's specific? I'm gonna punch you, Dan. Now I'm gonna die because you kicked my ass. I'm gonna throw Milwaukee out the window. So badly.
Ask me that again, so I
was gonna.
We keep getting interrupted by the cameraman telling us where to go.
So, I'm gonna do it twice.
Yeah.
So, what specifics lets you know you're in Maine? What specifics let you know you're in Maine?
What type of sentence is that? What specifics let you know you're Maine? All right.
How do you know when you've bumped over the Maine border?
Well, first of all, the roads, as you can tell by being in the camera, the roads are not very good in this section of Maine. All right. Yeah, we're turning onto Ireland Drive. Now, if you don't know this about, I don't know why we're turning onto Ireland Drive.
$5, we missed our turn.
New Hampshire just stole pretty much every name from England. Okay,
totally did.
Yeah, England and Ireland, Dublin, Manchester, Newmarket, Greenland. I mean, it's just all completely stolen. Maine, though, stole different types of names.
Like what?
Like Mexico, Maine. Okay, is actually a place. Mexico, Maine.
I've been there actually.
Yep. Poland, Maine. All right. Is actually a place. With the many miles passing, I find road trips are a time for reflection, to contemplate life's endless wonders. Now, if there's one thing in life I hate, is knickknacks. Little porcelain friggin' dogs on windowsills. I hate stuff on windowsills. Nothing is ever supposed to be on a windowsill, ever!
Keys.
Keys on a windowsill?
It's a handy shelf.
It's not a hand shelf. It's a window sill. It's there to help you open the window.
A sill is a window shelf.
A window shelf is a window
You
shelf.
will not sway my argument. I know what I believe, and Jesus Christ, my witness, I will believe until the end of time.
We're headed towards Bath, Maine. Maine's just got really weird names. I mean, Alfred, Maine.
Thank God I'm going to Bath. You smell that.
Yeah, I know.
We continue driving through Maine, having one useless conversation after another, passing one weirdly named town after another. The early part of any road trip is always packed with conversation, typically of the useless sort.
Cars, you know, like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, yeah. Weaver wheels, right.
You know the ones with the cherry bombs or fart cans in the back?
Our next stop was an hour and a half north, Frosty's Donuts in Brunswick, Maine.
Oh my God, I hope we're going to Frosty's Donuts.
Maybe that's it right there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Your love alive. Just how much did it take to keep your love alive?
Would you order that from the Sugar Plum Fairy?
I didn't realize what it was. Hence the incognito bandito shaditos. But you know, it says cool things like I can't really read that.
Let me see.
It's melted. What the hell are you eating?
Nothing yet. I haven't taken a bite out of it.
It looks like the Lucky Charms kid threw up all over your It does. It looks like the Lucky Charms kid threw up.
It tastes really good though. Did you try that yet?
No. I haven't.
Give it a shot. Let me see.
Wow. That tastes exactly how it looks.
Very sweet.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wow. This is like a severe.
It's hot.
Alright. No.
I'm sick of that there.
No, we're tired. We're tired. We're getting too much caffeine. We powered ourselves up with sugar. No.
We still got
5 hours.
Don't remind me.
Alright. So, we're like 3 hours in. How are you liking driving in a Mini?
I hate that thing.
You hate it?
There's no legroom. There's no legroom. I repeat that. There's heated seats. It's delightful. Why don't you eat one of my many donuts? Because apparently we can't stop to eat.
Well, what you're doing right now?
Snacking.
Which is a form of eating.
I can die happy now.
No, it's good.
Very good. You know what the best part is though?
What?
It's you're paying for this, not me.
That is true. No, we spent $30 in gas so far. Well, that's what we spent.
No, we haven't, because $30 fills a tank. Tank's half full.
Tank's half full. We're down to, now that we're actually reading the right mileage thing, because we were reading the wrong one. I love that little car though. I just love how it looks out there. You know? A short leg, so it works out well for me.
I'm the same height, man.
That's true, you are.
I got like less legroom.
It doesn't make any sense. I got pedals on my side. No?
I don't know.
Huh. How is it though?
I feel like I should be entering into a magical world of fairies and Narnia and whatnot. And Doctor Who gets lost midstream. He's like, nope.
Well, it's just got that like, colorfulness of like, it feels like Willy Wonka type of thing, you know?
No. This is a 3-year-old girl's birthday party in a cup.
As our conversation continued, we eventually found ourselves talking about Disney princesses.
After that, I just appreciate it.
How we got here, I am not quite sure.
Jasmine was my favorite.
Nah.
Cameraman just gave me a weird look, like Jasmine? Like,
I like Belle. She's a nerd.
He just looked at me, just like, really? Like, out of all of them? Like, Jasmine? Who's your favorite?
Ariel.
Okay, I gotta...
My man.
Yeah, Ariel. Okay, I gotta hand it...
Respect.
Ariel, alright.
She's different. She's not just another...
Well, she got...
She's like...
I mean, like...
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even say that. I was going to say she's just kind of an idiot. She doesn't know what a fork is.
That is true. She's using a comb.
What is it? Tangle hopper. I cut my hair with
I
it.
guess since we're here, we'll go better ask the other kid.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Does Mulan count? Yes.
That's true. Yeah. Well, is she a princess?
Shut up. Yeah, that's
Okay,
classy.
alright.
Good choice. She marries into royalty.
Oh, okay. All right.
What about the other damned?
The sound guy.
No comment. Good answer.
Who's your favorite Disney princess? We won't tell your wife. She won't see this part.
Snow White.
Snow White. That's classic, yeah.
She has a high enough pitched voice that she could break glass.
You know, my sister Peggy used to love Snow White and would force us to watch us. My mom's right there. She may be hearing this right now, but we used to get forced to watch Snow White. But Mom, I don't know if you remember this incident, but there was one time where Peggy didn't want to watch it because she was too scared, yet we still had to sit through it. Like, so she wasn't even in the room, and we had to watch Snow White again.
I have been to that many times.
Yeah. It's like, the only reason I'm watching this damn movie is because of her, and she's not even here.
Can we change it? No.
No.
Why?
No, we can't change it. I should say Aladdin is the best Disney movie because it actually has songs sung by the heroes that we actually like.
Yeah, like the monkey.
Yeah. But like even a
He's
whole
an
new world.
everyday's hero, man.
You know? I mean, even a whole new world. I think like most 90s people can appreciate a whole new world, you know?
Fighting
this
urge
cameraman once
to
again.
burst
Okay.
That's good. I mean,
all right.
Yeah. See, he started off with, it's good, but I mean.
Okay, well then, who's your favorite? What's your favorite song? I can't believe we've gone on this, but what's your favorite?
No, A Whole New World's good. It's just like the Princess Jasmine out of all the other princesses.
What is wrong with Princess Jasmine?
Having lost the argument of who was the best Disney princess, we decided to end this useless conversation and get back on the road.
Pedal to the metal.
I got pretty close to that car, didn't I?
Yeah, dude, I thought you was gonna hit it.
Oh, yeah, that
That's
was...
why I'm like, dude, just please.
That was pretty bad.
Alright. Oh, man, now touch my hand.
We're in Brunswick, I think?
Something that...
Either Brunswick or Bath. No, I think we're in Brunswick.
Yeah, we were heading towards Bath.
If he doesn't use blinker, I am going to kill him because I don't know where the hell we're going.
Terrence, that's not nice.
That is not.
They prefer being called turn signals, not blinkers.
Yeah.
We continued on our epic journey, questing to reach the end of the world until about 10 minutes had passed, and then we stopped for a sandwich.
Hey, can you open the trunk for me? I gotta grab some stuff.
Yeah. There's actually no switch for this, so you just have to, like, the door's unlocked and then you set up.
So the door's unlocked now.
When the door's unlocked, you're supposed to just be able to push the button, and it's like you can hear the buttons clicking.
Yes, this modern marvel of technology.
You can't push it down, and then...
It's like, what if we threaten it?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the case.
The video knows nothing.
Yes, that case. That's where the sound thing is.
That's what I need. This is what's going to keep me alive.
Yes.
Stupid as it
is. Are you ready to roll?
We continued journeying northward and started to truly grasp the reason for this venture.
Beautiful little town, though. Wow, look at that.
Hey, Sea Dog Road Company.
Sea Dog, but that's like, that looks like something out of like friggin' Germany. You tell we're getting tired, we're swearing a lot more.
Yeah, we are. There's a place called Landfest.
Lord Camden Inn.
We're gonna be...
There's a place called Lord Camden Inn.
I want to go to Main Sport, not the red lights.
House of Logan. Wolverine.
With the fatigue of the day, the road started to slow, our conversation, our energy, and we decided to take time to simply enjoy the beauty that is Maine.
Of this view has made me lose my balance.
No, seriously, take a look at this though. Is this like... It's just something else, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty cool actually.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really cold.
It is cold. Can we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
The majesty. It's cold.
It is cold.
That's Two-Face.
Then we saw something we never thought we would see up here in Maine.
Be like this is the Tommy Jones version.
Yeah. Holy mackerel, this is...
No, man, this beats the pants off mackerel.
One lane. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is cool.
This is wicked cool.
The Penobscot Bridge connects Verona Island and Prospect, Maine.
This 2,120-foot-long cable monstrosity has the tallest public bridge observatory in the world. When we crossed the bridge, the entire world seemed to change. Not necessarily visually, but just the feel. The sun was slowly starting its descent, and the blue of a winter's night was beginning to rear its majestic head. We were not in Kansas anymore, or New Hampshire, or even southern Maine. We were heading to a place that quasi-city folks like ourselves would only make fun of. But driving through this place, we slowed our dialogue and lifted our gazes to the surroundings. This wasn't a funny place. This is a peaceful place. We were heading to a place beyond the cell phone towers and the thoughts of most New Englanders. A place that didn't welcome us, didn't shun us. A place that just was. You see, TJ, at the end of halfway through every road trip, gets like really tired. And so the trick I found out is if you put on classical music, he'll just like pass out. All right? And it has truly happened in a lot of cases where he'll all of a sudden get like very antsy in my face and everything like that. And finally I just put on like classical music and he passed out. But this time he went in advance. He actually put his own music on and actually just passed out right before we went over the bridge, which I think is has shown a sign of his maturity. We've been going on these types of road trips for like 7-8 years now, but he's grown, you know? He's grown in his heart and in his mind, not just in his gut, you know? When he sees this, he's gonna kick my ass.
So, like, when did you first really experience, like, your first ownership of, like, your own vehicle? You know, like, when you felt it was really yours, you know?
When I turned 18, I finally was able to get the car back from my dad.
Oh, yeah?
I was 15, and someone had offered the car to my dad for free.
Yep.
So my old man came up to me and he said, I'm going to offer you this car right now for free, because that's what I would got for it. But if you ask me tomorrow, I'm going to charge you for it. It was a Ford Taurus, 1994 Ford Taurus, the last vehicle on the planet that I wanted, but it was free.
Was it the green one?
Yeah, it was.
It was the green one. It's the green one.
But I took it because it was free.
Yeah.
But I was 15 and my family didn't get your license till you're 18. And so I invested $3,000 in fixing up the front end. And my mom says to me, well, your dad's got health issues and this is the only car with AC, so he's going to drive it for the next couple of years. So my dad bought me a toolkit and a repair book, threw it at me. He paid for the windshield to be repaired, and he drove it. That was kind of how I learned to drive on for the most part.
Yeah.
But he drove it for like several years. So finally when I turned 18 and I had my own driver's license, I was like, cool, I can actually drive my car now. Like, you know, more than everyone else is driving my car. You know? It seemed like it was getting volunteered for other people too.
It seems like that always happens, especially when you have siblings that are like younger, older, or something like that. Or like, you know what, your car's nice, we're going to take yours.
Yeah.
You know, that happens way too often.
We lent it to a priest friend. I lent my car to a priest friend for like a week.
What the hell? So they lent...
And he came up to me afterwards and said, you know, this car maxes out at 85? Like, you know, I didn't really want to lend you this car. I was just told to by my family. I usually
they would lent it out. They lent it out to people that you didn't even really know.
I knew them, but I was like, Terry ain't driving it, so this.
Let's send it to somebody. Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes
I had $3,000 to put into that when I was a kid.
Well, I'd be pretty attached to it too. I mean, 3 G's for anybody,
it was all
especially a young person.
Yeah. What about you?
Me, my love of cars began at like probably 15 and a half. And then we actually started taking it serious. Like, okay, I might be going to driver's ed. I'm like, all right, cool. So I did what any smart kid did. Every time my mom went to the supermarket, I picked up every free book of cars that were for sale, every auto trader I could get my little hands on.
I used to do it. That was like,
and dude, I stared at so many of those things. But then luck had it that, what was it? A friend of the family was giving away a car because it was a piece of crap. They're like, hey, guess what? We got your car. Can't drive it. I was like, well, you can't start driver's ed for another 7 months. Great. So we had the car literally screaming at me, hey, come drive me. And it was sitting in the driveway. So I would literally grab my auto magazines and go camp out in the car. Didn't matter what temperature it was. I just flipped through them like, my car.
Love of cars started when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But
Did it start with like those Matchbox cars or something?
Yeah.
Or like those micro machines or something that don't exist anymore?
Yeah. Matchbox cars.
Yeah.
Batmobile, you know.
My favorite car TV show, especially as a kid, had to be that poorly dubbed anime of Speed Racer. They'd be like, oh, my car goes so fast. It's very fast. Wow. And it was so horrible. It was awesome. But yeah, just continued after that. And you know me, I cycle through cars like I do employment jobs. Like 4 new ones a week, man. It's not even funny.
I think you've owned 12 cars since I've known you.
I think that's the few I've known about.
Yeah.
Started with a Pontiac. It crapped the bed. Its brains just went south. Then it was a station wagon, which squeaked because the bearings were gone.
Yeah.
It drove me insane. I almost crashed it 3 times. After that was my black bomber pickup truck. Blew the exhaust off of that.
Favorite car you've ever owned?
Biggest car or best car?
Favorite.
Favorite, oh God. Probably the black Ford pickup. The one I hated the most but wanted to love was the PT Cruiser because it's just so freaking weird.
No, it was weird.
It was weird, but it was fun looking. Not bad.
No. Here's to the next car. Now I think we can let the sound guy get off the floor.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Mr. McAndrew, this is the final push. So how am I going to word this? It's 75 miles to Lubeck. We don't have a full tank of gas. It's just about nighttime, and we're putting on sunglasses.
Can't get much cooler than that.
Let's do this, bitch. Yoo-hoo! Apologize for calling you bitch. That's kind of out of the question.
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Eyes a foreigner. And then pull off and then...
So start out thinking that love is so high in the sky. Love is right in front of your eyes.
Okay, so we are on our last push to finally get to the brewery in Lubeck, Maine. We're gonna get beer. He's gonna get beer. And right now, the counter says we are at 119 miles.
What does that mean?
It means we got 119 miles left in the tank. Now,
all right, that's way more accurate.
It's about 75 miles from here to Lubeck. It should take us about a little less than 2 hours. We should be there just in time.
It's a camera recording.
It's a camera recording. This is like a paradox right now. So we're just about at the end of this.
Pretty much, yeah.
We were talking about cars at Ellen's earlier.
I like the cars.
I like cars. Okay, now, let's see if you can name all the cars you've owned.
That might take a while.
After leaving the restaurant, we found ourselves with a sudden new burst of energy. But as the miles dragged on, so did the time. The roads got worse and worse, and we saw fewer and fewer signs of life. It felt like time was stopping altogether, and though physically we were fine, mentally we were growing tired. And every turn we had, a sudden urge of, was this it, crept up. But it wasn't, and we traveled on.
Morning, sweetheart.
I hate you.
With all the extra taxes that they pay for everything in here, you think they can afford to repair these roads? These roads are horrible. Like, in all honesty, I want to get
Dude,
I'm gonna get my car checked out after this.
Yeah, I'd be like,
sure.
how's your alignment?
Yeah. 30 miles left on that tank. Supposedly we got another 45 minutes before we finally reach Lubeck.
But 45 minutes came, and 45 minutes went. So we pushed on, and on, and on. And we got really, really bored.
Yeah, a whole bunch of nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. A lot more nothing. Hey, look, some nothing over there.
What's our ETA, Mom? Oh, wow. There's like a whole bunch of nothing over there. And does this place exist?
Yeah, if you look around the corner, there's a whole bunch of nothing.
I wonder if that's like, if they get a discount for nothing over here.
You know, they have a surplus of nothing. They should export this stuff.
Yeah. If they export nothing, it'll make a profit that is, nothing you can shake a stick at.
Well, it seemed like we were never going to make it. We were running out of fuel, there was no cell phone reception, no restaurants, no signs of life. Then suddenly...
Holy crap, lights!
My goodness.
Holy crap, no service again.
Border crossing. Wow. That's it.
We finally made it to the end of the world.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get TJ a beer. Beer sounds like a good idea.
Had a stressful day. I haven't driven any. I kind of complained.
Kind of.
Shut up.
We had made it. The streets were quiet. Canada was less than 100 yards away. And when we finally stepped into the brewery, we saw something very unique. Upon entering the brewery, we were belted with live music, singing, and dancing. To the members of my crew old enough to remember, they said it felt like stepping back into the 70s. To me, it felt like stepping into a whole new world. Still a classic Disney song, Chris. I don't care what you say.
Oh, definitely hit that up.
John Roll, he's an author.
Hey, John. And I write for the local paper, too. This is the film crew you talked about, right?
Yeah.
So what's your interest here?
It
was really far.
It's a pretty funny story. We wanted to take a road trip up here for a while.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, we had an idea. Could we go from Concord, New Hampshire to Lubec, Maine on one tank of gas in my Mini Cooper, taking only back roads?
Did you fill up?
Well, it's funny. We did. We had it down to 65 miles, and then one of the logistics lady, was actually my mom this time around. She said, "Oh, this is the last gas station. I don't know what town we were in. Last gas station in before Canada." We said, "Okay." Well, yeah, it was like a half hour out of here.
Oh, when we saw McFadden's.
Yeah, exactly. Like we passed like 3 or 4
Gulf gas stations. You crossed that bridge. There's no gas stations over there.
There's no gas stations over
There's
there.
no gas stations on Campobello.
Really? No way.
They have to get their gas over here. Yeah. So,
weird.
we build that wall, they're going to be out of gas.
So what is the general feel of what it's like to live up here year round?
There have been several psychics who've come up here, and they've talked about the energy of the area, and it's a really powerful place. It's no place for sissies,
Right.
In the summer, people move here and they're like, oh my God, this is lovely.
Yeah.
And then in the winter, they're like going out of their heads because it's them and them.
Yep.
And if you can't deal with your inner stuff, you don't want to move here because there's you and your inner stuff, Really creative, eclectic, amazing people gravitate here, because they're the ones who need that. Like, John's a writer. He needs creative influence, but he also needs time to write. Yeah. There's our friend Rhonda out there. She races sled dogs. She's like an earth mother who helps take care of the local single mom's kids, right? She makes art out of found trash, and then she has goats and this little pony and a cart, and she rides through town and gives kids free rides in the summer. But the town is full of people like that because you've got to make your own fun, or you can't live here.
I can definitely hear the passion and the love for this place that you have in your excited and animated. I'm like, that's making me excited and animated. I'm like, this is awesome.
If you don't love it, you better leave.
Yeah. Better leave.
The other thing is we're so far from anywhere. Yeah. Right?
We found out.
Right. I know. What's your sister's name?
Callie.
Callie, right. Yeah. So Callie's like, that's like 2 hours. I'm like, no way, Callie. It's like 4.5 hours. And she's like, no, really. It's like, I'm like, Callie, don't listen to the nap. It's like everybody's like, 2 more hours.
It said like 13 minutes. I said, all right. It's been 15 minutes and only 3 minutes of those 13 minutes have gone by.
That's always, So, but the cool thing is that's like a moat. Yeah. It's like our moat. Distance is our protective mechanism. You gotta want to come here, and you gotta want your phone not to work. Yeah. You've gotta want to not have broadband. Yeah. You've gotta want to sit and have coffee with your friend or tea and help them weed their garden. Yeah. It's like you come here for quality of life. It's a rare bit of quality of life that's left. Right. You just don't find it. Even an hour from here, the whole energy is different. People, If my car broke down at 4 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't feel fear getting a ride from someone, or someone would come and help me.
Every now and then, like any town, there's some tragedy. Yes. Something happens to somebody. So what happens out of that? The town gets together, and they have this big party, and they auction desserts. It goes on for hours. So for them to come up with a good sum of money just from these pastries that people make and donate.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like he's talking about spending $100 on a cake.
Yeah.
This is one of the poorest counties in the United States.
People
Yeah,
can't afford
it's
to
like
spend
third or
$100 on a
fourth
cake,
poorest
but they
in
do
the
it.
country.
Wow.
Per capita.
Yeah.
It's one of the most impoverished, and yet people will bend over backwards to help each other, and that comes in part from poverty. You don't have something when someone helps you, you know what that feels like, and when they need help, you help them. You know,
and you get a good cake.
And you can raise your kids, and they can ride their bikes around. No one's going to rape them. No one's going to run them over. You know, well, they might run them over. No, I'm just.
It's an incredible thought to think this is like the end of the country right here.
Yeah.
You know, and no one really talks about it.
We don't see it as the end. We see it as the beginning.
Right.
We get the sun. Everybody else.
All right.
Special treatment. Okay, I get it.
I should say that. So we got to start from. It's always best to start from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
so
right?
we go to the back.
Like the West.
You can't get here unless you came from the West.
So, but I mean, it is like Stephen King says. You know, the real down east is when you don't pass another bridge.
Yeah.
You don't cross the last bridge you cross, then you're really down east, and that's not Bar Harbor. That's not Steuben.
Right.
You know, because you still got the Millbridge Bridge. That's not Machias. You know, it's here. Yeah, we got to get you guys up here when you can spend a few days and really feel it.
But you can go down there and talk to anybody, and they're going to think that you're from here.
Yeah. You know, if you're nice, you know what the thing is, if you have an open heart, people feel free to be open with you. It's when people are guarded that then people around here get guarded and they act all stiff and kind of weird, you know. But it's if you walk up and say, "Hey, I'm so and so." Hey, yeah. They're like, "All right," and they sit down and you know. But that's how people are when you allow them, you know.
Is this what you were expecting when you came up here?
Well, we made it.
No, but like, is this what you were expecting when you came up here?
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
All right.
I was. Typically good-hearted people.
Yeah.
This was just like when I was in Pine Rivers, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot of people, not a lot of money, but a lot of good people. A lot of marketers. But these people seem really nice.
Yeah. It was like they just walked in and just welcomed us.
Oh, yeah, man.
There's no dancing and singing.
Oh, yeah, no judgment and alcohol.
But I guess we have to say this, though. We now know what the end of the world is like, and honestly, it's not that bad.
It's actually pretty damn good.
It's pretty good. It's singing, dancing, food's decent.
Yeah.
You know. But
Border Patrol will find you.
Border Patrol will find you. The roads are really bumpy getting to the end of the world.
Yeah.
But we made it to the end of the world.
We did.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah. And we made it in that little Mini Cooper. And the good news is you'll get to drive home in the truck. You'd stretch your legs out.
Thank God I don't have to ride with him anymore.
Yay. Yeah.
I mean, shame. I miss you, bud. I'll miss you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we made it, honestly.
I'm surprised we did too. It seemed like it took forever.
You're supposed to be the opposing there.
No, I am, because it seemed like it was gonna, like, it felt like we were never gonna get here.
But like she mentioned, like, yeah, it's 2 hours. No, it feels like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing everywhere.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of nothing.
But then all of a sudden, just like, pop, you're just there.
And then boom, civilization. Ish.
So we suppose we should end on a profound note. This is our first, like, road trip documentary thing. I suppose we should end on a profound note. I'm tired. You tired?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, let's find a place to sleep.
Yes,
All right. Just so you guys know, for safety precautions, you always want to bring your mother with you on a road trip, because she brings sandwiches. All right? Food. Yeah. Food. Thanks, Mom.
Every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours.
Food.
Every 2 hours. Food.
If I took for granted the way that you feel.
The trip up here was longer than we had expected, both physically and emotionally for the entire team. But when we had got here, all of those miles of stress and boredom seemed to have drifted out with the night tide. The people of Lubec, Maine didn't hesitate to welcome us in like we were a long-lost relative. Time seems to stand still in this little section of American significance, And though to the team, going here was merely a calculated lark, to the people of Lubeck, it's an unexplainable joy. But the goal was set, and me and my compadres had made it from Concord, New Hampshire to the end of the world in our little car. In a big truck.
Wouldn't you go that far? Wouldn't you go that far? Take a leap of faith. Wish on that star. 'Cause that's where it starts. Wouldn't you go that far?
Yes, sir. Now, and there's a very good reason why we picked this vehicle. I already owned it, so.
When I pushed your love.
You're serious, aren't you?
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
So come let me hold you, and we'll find out when enough is enough. If we're out of love, and we're out of luck. But wouldn't you go that far? Wouldn't you go that far? Take a leap of faith. Wish on that star.
I was being cheap and said, I'm going to pay for this house. Oh, I can get a house for much cheaper. Keep in mind, things you pay the least for, you end up paying the most for. That's a good way to look at it.
Take a leap of faith.
Good night.
Wish on that star. 'Cause that's where it starts. Wouldn't you go that far?
And we're live. We're back. Welcome back. I want to thank everyone who watched the film. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Right now, I'm still having issues with my computer. After all this time of, here we go. Well, okay, cool. All right. Now, I'm just going to be looking on my iPhone at the questions or comments. Dan, that was the first time you actually saw the film in its entirety, right?
Yep.
So when you finish a movie, and you've obviously been on the start and beginning and end of movies, and same as you, what's the feeling when you actually go and see it finished for the first time? Because a lot of times I feel like, wow, the story on the other side of the camera was way more interesting than the story that took place in front of the camera. So when you saw the film, what did you think of?
Just what you said. It, everything that we saw in the film, it's only like a tiny piece of everything that happened.
Right, because me and TJ were in the car the whole time, so we never actually saw what you guys were, because there's like four of you. What, three or four of you? Four of you.
Yeah, there was four of us. It was me, you, Chris, and Jean, your mom.
Right, yeah.
And, I mean, you didn't see the stuff like, remember I MacGyvered the doors so you could do the filming?
Yeah.
We were trying to get the thing tight, and I said, well, just give me the duct tape. And they're like, what are you going to do, duct tape it? I go, no. I stuck the duct tape right in between the doors to hold them solid so they wouldn't shift. And then I said, you got to MacGyver things, come on.
Yeah, because we actually didn't know, because we were driving with the back doors open on the truck, because we were trying to find, okay, for those of you who watch shows like Top Gear or the Grand Tour, the shots where the camera is driving behind the vehicle, all they have is they got a Land Rover with a popped window in the back and a guy sitting with the camera there. That's the extent of their technology when they're filming those shots. We did not realize we didn't have a vehicle that had a window that popped, because I thought I asked your vehicle, yours obviously wasn't. So we had to actually prop open the back doors of the Suburban.
And zoom in.
And zoom in, right, and have like a 2x4 at the bottom there, and like just all these different things. And then
I think it was Chris holding your legs, right? So you wouldn't fall out?
No, it was not even. It was just me draped over the back seat, just like hoping.
Okay, so.
But if I looked at my son, I go, make sure it doesn't fall out.
That was fun, though. That was, but there's a whole big story that took place after that, which we learned a very valuable lesson. We learned 2 very valuable lessons. One is listen to my mom.
Yes.
Yes. Always listen to my mom.
Right.
And 2, always film.
Oh, yeah.
Always film. We packed up all the camera equipment, and we all shuffled into this beautiful house. This
It was
gorgeous
a
house.
very nice looking house.
It was a very nice looking house with tons of rooms
Huge.
that we were going to on this farm that was on the outskirts of
Right.
wherever the heck
The
it
old
was.
farmhouse, probably like hundreds of years old. I mean, it was pretty old.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, quite. And so obviously how this went was okay. For years, my mom keeps saying, never use an Airbnb, there'll be bed bugs, never use an Airbnb, there'll be bed bugs. And I'm like, so for years, out of all the traveling I've done, never use an Airbnb. But it was too big a crew. We couldn't afford a hotel room for all of us to stay up there.
Right.
We had to stay up there, and it was winter, so we couldn't camp. We said, okay, we'll just get an Airbnb, wouldn't be a big deal. We got this entire house that was, looked really nice
Right.
and whatnot for like pretty much no money. There was a good reason for it. So my mom ended up coming along to be the logistics person this time because Callie was supposed to be the logistics person.
Right.
And she got sick the weekend of it, and my mom stepped in.
Right.
And the first time my mom has ever been on any of our filming excursions.
Right.
And she found out something. One, we don't eat a lot, which apparently was a big deal. All right. She goes, why don't you have enough food for you? I'm like, we're fine. We're fine.
Well, thank God she brought the food because we would have been out of luck because
Right.
everything was closed by the time we were done for the day.
Right, yeah.
We're
The bar wasn't
what are we
closed,
gonna
they just had
eat?
no food.
She holds up like a thing of, deli meat and a loaf of bread, you
Right,
know?
yeah, 'cause
okay, let's go, let's dinner.
The destination was this restaurant, and by the time we got up there,
it was closed.
Well, it wasn't closed. They were still there dancing and singing, but the kitchen wasn't working.
Oh, right.
People had just brought
food.
food.
They had some munchies and stuff, but it wasn't enough to sustain life. Sustain life. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not after like 8 hours.
Yeah, it was like little dippy stuff, you
Right,
can't really live on that.
And so then we went to the farmhouse, and then I was exhausted, and I went upstairs. I never even got a chance to actually got changed. I just fell asleep on the bed. I just collapsed on the bed, and then all of a sudden I'm like having a dream, and I can hear my mom and TJ talking, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, they're actually up, and it's like 1:30 in the morning. And I'm like stumbling downstairs. I'm going, what the hell is going on, And TJ just looks at me and goes, your mother found bed bugs in the bed. All these years. And I'm just like, thinking to myself, of course she did.
Yeah.
That's what she said, we were fine. The only time I've ever stayed at an Airbnb, the only time I happened to have her with me, okay? And so luckily they had a dryer, so we had to take our clothes and run our clothes to dry. We threw away a bunch of clothes, and because we don't know what's infected, and so we lost tons of clothing, my boots and whatnot. Okay, we're not going to put all this in the. Luckily, we had garbage bags, and we just had to pick what are we going to save because it's a long drive down, and it started to snow. It was like
it was actually snowing at night.
Yes, yeah.
Because we were actually at the other end, on the second floor at the other end of the house. And Chris and I were in like a small twin bed thing, and I hear the commotion, and I'm like,
You had the best
hell's
reaction.
going on?
Right.
I come out and go, what the hell is going on? And of course, he's like, bed bugs, and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went back to bed.
Yeah.
Chris is passed out. I look at my bed. I'm like, yeah, no bed bugs. I'm going back.
But
Go back to sleep.
You just walked out. You're like, whatever. I'm just going back to bed. I don't care.
But I'm like, we were so tired. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
We couldn't figure it out. And
So we
everyone's
all-
taking showers.
Right,
and
we all showered up. Then we had to run like the clothing through the dryer.
for like a half hour, 20 minutes with hot heat
Right.
kills a bed bug.
Because my mom and TJ had done like all this research on the phones, if like how to get rid of
how to
bed
get
bugs,
rid of
right.
them. Yeah. Well, we actually put all our stuff in the bag and we contained it.
Right.
So what we did, Chris and I said, you know what? Let's be on the safe side. We went to the Derry laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
We took all our clothes off, Well, not in the laundromat, of course.
That's why you were on the news, yes.
But we
Father and son doing news.
No. We actually went home and we stood outside, and my wife brought us clothes, and we changed right on the porch, and we threw everything in. We went to the laundromat, washed it, and those big commercial dryers. I mean, if they weren't dead, I don't know what would
I
kill
just had
them.
an image of you. I don't know why this is going to stick in my head. You just like reading a newspaper naked in a laundromat. just waiting.
Well, no, I was wearing a newspaper.
Right, yeah. So then we had to, so then we ended up traveling back. Okay, so the next morning, we got a video of it somewhere. We're taking off, and it had snowed like the whole night, and like none of us had slept a full night's sleep. And so TJ was tired, and he was just like, okay, I gotta sleep. I said, okay. Yeah, my thought was, you look in a bad mood. You better go in the camera car. Like, I'll take it.
Yeah, call me.
You know,
it was actually, you know, that drive leaving the farm was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
With the snow, and I mean, it was just like, you know, picturesque.
It was
great,
especially when you're in a big 4-wheel drive truck. Now, when you're in a little Mini Cooper.
Well, I did kind of see you once in a while behind me.
Yeah.
He's slow down. Slow down.
Yeah, I know, because I'm following you. I am following you in
Mini Cooper.
In the Mini Cooper, going down the snow-covered road, and we didn't know whether or not how good the Mini was actually going to do. It actually did quite well on the road, but we couldn't go that fast. And this big, heavy 6,000-pound truck with like new winter tires on and stuff. Just
That's
like
me.
And then you were driving. You're just like gone. We're like, dude. Could you slow down? We can't keep up.
We can't see you.
You know, but the whole road was covered, and all the trees had covered, and it snowed like about 6-7 inches, and it was Route 1 up there, and it had not been plowed.
Right. Well, thank God it was Sunday morning. I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't go to church, and the roads were dead.
Yeah.
I mean, until we got a little bit further into mainstream Maine. Well,
Yeah, and then
I don't even know there's such a thing.
Yeah, we just hauled it back there. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah. It was an interesting trip. And that was something we learned. So the next time we go to do another one of these episodes of The American Traveler, we're going to make sure that the camera is running pretty much all the time, because the bed bug thing would have been kind of interesting, actually. That would have been
would have been a very fun thing to film.
Right.
But all the gear was packed up in the truck.
In the truck, right.
And we didn't want to risk bringing anything in that could also get infected. Right. But TJ hadn't slept that night. My mom hadn't slept that night. At one point, I just walked my mom back into after she had been, deloused. We walked her back into the truck, and she just slept in the truck, and it's like snowing out. We're stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that was the last video.
That was the last video, right?
The show, yeah.
So okay, with everything that was gone through, Dan, would you want to do another one of these?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Dan, would you never? Wow, this is
as long as you pay for the hotel.
As long as I pay for the hotel. fess up the money for the hotel. Maybe we should get a sponsor. Hey,
well, you know what?
Bed bugs.
You know what we could just make sure that we're prepared for the bed bugs before we go in there.
It could be.
You know?
Burn the place down. That's about the best way you can get.
We'll just bring hammocks, hang them up.
Well, that's.
I thought you said hammers for a second. I was like, that's
just hang up hammers all over the place.
Oh, we might need a hammer.
That too.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting, a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that Chris went with us too. It was good. It was good. Overall, I mean, each stop was good. It was cold that morning though.
It was really cold.
But as the day went on,
we're filming in Concord.
Good. Huh?
We were filmed in Concord.
Oh, it was wicked cold. I know.
Yeah. We had to get permission.
What was that, like mid-January, mid-February, something like that?
I think we did it February. We think late February or early March or something like that. Yeah.
I can't remember the exact date that we did it.
I remember it being cold, basically.
Yeah.
But the Lebec, Maine, that was right at the Canadian border where Roosevelt Island, Eleanor Roosevelt's island.
Yeah, it was. I mean, literally right at the border.
So you could get into Canada, but it was an island, so you couldn't really get to Canada unless you had a boat.
Right.
But you'd have to people that live in there have to come out into the U.S. and then go around and then get back into Canada.
I know it's kind of crazy. It was interesting. We never actually saw it by daylight.
No. Well, we seen the border, but we didn't see the island.
Right. Yeah. No, we really didn't see. So it would be interesting to actually go back up there and to actually see what the place looks like by daylight, because we had really miscalculated at the time.
Well, when we first got there, we were pulled up to the border and we're like. He's sitting there, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, let's go for it. We're just gonna plow right to the border.
I'm like,
And they're
can we
like,
please
"Hey,
stop?
let's take a
hanging-"
left.
Right, yeah. I was like, what are we doing just hanging out in front of the border? I'm like, this doesn't look creepy at all. Like, my company sign is on the side of this big truck.
Right.
And it's like they're just hanging out in front of the border. And I'm like, hey, before like we get arrested, could we please, like, you know.
Can we move?
Yeah, you know.
Well, they started shooting at us.
Yeah. No, it was overall it was an interesting trip. So, but hey, thank you, Dan and Dan, for coming out tonight. So we'll see you guys on the next trip. I think this was fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully people will enjoy it. The American Traveler is on Amazon Prime. We're going to drop the link for the American Traveler right in the on the YouTube feed and in the Facebook feed, so you guys can check it out at your leisure. We'll be making more episodes of this hopefully very soon. This is an exciting thing that we're doing. We want to do more because we want to show people how to actually go out and have a good time on a budget. Obviously, if you are going to start emulating the stuff that we did, you won't have a film crew with you to feed. So it's like, it would have been much cheaper if it actually was just 2 people. It would have literally cost about $60 in gas.
Right.
That's would have been, besides food, that would have been about it. Because they actually did make it on 1 tank of gas up there.
Yeah.
But we'll be dropping more links. We'll be doing some more. But I want to thank Dan Graham for coming out tonight. I want to thank Dan DeVideo for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank the crew. I want to thank Exeter, Channel 98. My name is Terry Trainer. I am the host of the Early Late Night Live Show. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. But tonight is not the Early Late Night Live Show, but it's close enough. It's close enough. We got pretty much the same crew. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have more stuff on Amazon Prime if you want to check it out. Not That Guy, Michael Lawrence, The Man Who Wasn't Tex McGrew, a lot of stuff, a lot more to come this year. I want to thank Exeter Channel 98, Bob Glowacki, and our director tonight, Jack Durand, coming out, and our tech guy, Ryan, for being out back there working the social media. And I want to thank our little audience for coming out tonight. So thank you guys. And we're just going to sit back, relax, and hopefully you guys enjoy your weekend. All right, folks, we're out of here.